Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. Good evening and welcome everybody to the Caltrop. I hope your day was phenomenal. In the pouring rain. Again, it seems like every single day in New Jersey, it's raining on me. It hits 2 o'clock and boom, it just rains. Comes out of nowhere and it's raining in absolute buckets. It's destroying my days, but it gives me a lot of time to set up the shows. But we have a great show for you planned tonight. We're going to start off the show just like this. Today is the 16th. It's July 16th. And this is Little Homie's. He's on my thing. This is Little Homie's third month. He's 3 months old right now. You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? Can you see him? Say hi. Yeah, so Mike. So this is 3-month-old Valentino. And look how big he's getting. Everybody says they love seeing him. So there you go. So it's unbelievable, right? 3 months. It's crazy. He's such a good looking boy. He's such a good boy. For everybody wondering out there, yes, we do get a lot of sleep. He is right now just staring at daddy. And I love it with a big smile on his face. He wakes up. He's just happy. He's going. Legs are kicking. It's been awesome if you could hear him. And now he's yawning. He loves the booby. And he loves the booby. And with that, Serena rolled her eyes and she is walking out. But that is Valentino. He is now 3 months old. I know every one of you guys love seeing him. But listen, guys, we have got a packed show for you tonight. Once again, welcome to the Caltrop. I am your soaking wet host, Mike Calderese. And guys, we have got a packed show for you tonight. And it's, Trump's not letting this thing die for whatever reason. Every day I wake up, I have other things planned, and then this gets thrown at me. And when something like this gets thrown at me and I get called names, we have to talk about it. And here we're going to talk about it. We definitely have Trump. We have a lot of things that are going on. Wednesday shows, I usually like doing like a more of a newsy type program, because that's when all the real news is coming out, right? So, I mean, we have obviously Israel. Israel's still on the war path. Now they're in Syria. We have to start really asking questions. Are they allowed to just, attack everybody that's around them with indiscretion? Russia's kind of doing the same thing, but I guess Russia's not claiming self-defense, but it's going to be very interesting with that. And we have Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, everyone's writing this guy off, but I think he's the only smart politician that's out there. We have a lot of video that's on him, but we also have, listen, there's so much that's packed up. There's things that we haven't gotten to, but and obviously today, I didn't say obviously, but today we have two special guests. I think it's going to be one or two. We're going to see possibly there's going to be two. I'm hoping both of these guys show up. We have the Bearded Viking Mead guys, the Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. My boy Rudy the Boat Martinez, and Jarl the Jarl. He may not show up. The Jarl may not show up, but I think Rudy is 100% confirmed. He's going to be coming on after the mic's right. But let's get the show started. I got to tell you guys, you're over the target when the guy who promised to drain the swamp is now calling you the problem for asking, hey, Where's the drain plug? I mean, I want to be called out because you'll all know that I'm fair and honest. You know what I really love, though? I love being called names. There's so many people and so many names being called at me. I feel like I'm backstage at fucking Romper Room. But I really do love being called names from Trump. It's like the ultimate MAGA merit badge now. It's like I beat Mike Tyson in Punch-Out, and suddenly I see Glass Joe. Congratulations, sir. You've supported Trump since 2015, and now you graduated to being a weakling. That's what I get for years of support. It's amazing how I could disagree today with something I pointed out yesterday and predicted would happen last month and months ago, and suddenly I'm the enemy. I'm a fragile weakling. I'm a rhino, a CIA psych op, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or worse, a Biden. I don't know. I'm just waiting for Deep State Calories merch to drop at this point. Who wants that t-shirt? Deep State Calories t-shirt. On sale for $29.99 when the shirt store gets up. But what crime did I commit? I mean, what did we do that was so offensive? Oh, we noticed things? Oh, I paid attention? I remembered what you said? Mr. Trump, President, Mr. President, you campaigned on ultimate transparency. Not me. You said the Epstein files would be released. Your people said it will blow your minds. And now you're mad that people have minds and they want them to be blown. Somewhere there's a washed up Stormy Daniels saying, oh yeah, he wants it blown all right. But let me point out something for everybody. Epstein was not a right or left issue. It was the one thing I think all Americans agreed on. He didn't kill himself. And yeah, throw every one of these last sick freaks in prison, no matter the party. Then what happened? Trump picks it up, runs with it, turns into a rally chant. You own it now, bro. You can't suddenly pretend it's not your circus because the monkeys started asking questions while also throwing shit at other monkeys. Trump let the imagination of his supporters go wild. Not only let it, encouraged it. You, Trump, you know exactly who your supporters are. They got called insurrectionists for you. They fought for you. They got you elected. They supported you through everything of it, all of the hoaxes. But maybe that's the real issue. Maybe you took them for granted. And now he's calling those same supporters weak for wanting answers. No. Weak is accepting being told to sit down and shut up. By the way, these answers were in fact promised to us, even if it was only through perception. That's the situation. You created that perception. That isn't just tone deaf, that's brain dead. This feels like COVID all over again. Remember that? Oh, we're in control. We got people in place. And then 4 years later, you're still wondering why grandma died alone and Pfizer somehow made $100 billion and more. You'd think people would have learned by now. Instead of being honest to us and saying, hey, guys, look, we looked. And shockingly, there's nothing. But now we're asking the question, why is there nothing? What did the left do? Did they delete everything? Did they just delete everything the last couple of weeks? If they were smart, they would have punted this, delayed it to 2026, campaigned on it, turned it into bait. Oh, look, it's the left's fault now. They delete everything. They have the hammers to do it with. Same hammers Hillary used. It's a smart play when you realize that they didn't leave you anything. But you didn't do that. Why? You took the steering wheel, crashed the car, and then blamed the fucking GPS. And what kills me the most are the people who turn on a dime. The influencers, the media puppets, the fake freedom grifters, people who screamed about Epstein for 5 years now saying, let's move on. Nah, man, I see you. You're bought. You're exposed. I'm not here to kiss rings. I don't worship politicians. I don't care if it's Trump or Biden or DeSantis or your aunt who runs a Facebook group called Truth is Coming 2024. If you're lying, I'm calling it. And if you're playing 6D chess like everyone claims, then your pawns are getting wrecked right now. This feels like Sidney Powell's Release the Kraken all over again, doesn't it? Everyone was hyped up over that. Then the Kraken turned out to be a hamster on a wheel powered by Hunter's crack-filled cheese. So I got to ask, are they being set up? Or is this some grand plan we'll only understand in a documentary 20 years from now, narrated by a depressed Morgan Freeman? I hope there's a grand plan, because if the swamp sucks in all of our guys, then maybe, just maybe, we can't drain it. Maybe you could only join it. And then what happens to the hope for the next Trump from us? It won't be there. And what we will get is what we've been fighting against the entire time. I feel like this is the last samurai, and I'm the last samurai trying to convince the emperor he's doing wrong. My going after Trump, everyone, is an attempt to help him, which brings me to the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. If you don't support Trump 100%, then you're against him. What is this, a cult? Is this what we're trying to prove to left, right again? Is this a boy band? A MAGA Backstreet Boys tour? Grow up. I'm going to keep telling the truth. I'm not here to protect your precious little feelings. If you're mad, fine. But don't ever ask me to be loyal to somebody who isn't loyal to his own people. Because the people who are waking up, and the real ones, don't bend when the narrative changes. They call it out. Trump thinks the left thinks you are a king, a thug, a lunatic. And right now you've acted like all of them. Please, I'm begging you, stop proving the left correct. Because when they call us a cult, when they call you a king, and then you act like a king, and then everybody else acts like the cult that should just follow you, you prove the left correct about everything they say about you and us. And it's going to result in getting them. I don't care who I offend when I say these things, because these things have to be said. Sorry, that's the mic's right. Hope you listen, Trump. All right, my man. So let's get to the chat really quick. We will welcome everybody. We have a lively chat today. What is going on, everybody? There, of course, we have Yankee 68. Yankee 68, if it's, he is always in the chat first, unless it's Jay Calda, who's there to talk shit. I think he only gets in the chat just to talk shit to Yankee 68. PT Pod says, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. They just did, Fresh Mike just did his slap fighting, man. If you like slap, check that out. Boondock Guy, we have the boat in the chat, and the boat's going to be on the show in a second. And Jay Will is in the chat. Welcome, Jay Will. Really appreciate you. There's Coach Patterson. There's Jay Calda. We have got a great show for you today. Mama Dukes 2022. And here to join us is Rudy the Boat Martinez. The Boat, bro, I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard the monologue, but tell me where I'm wrong.
I wish I could. You know what? I was hanging on every word, because I was hoping there was something. The only thing that you said, and this wasn't even in the monologue, that you thought that Newsom was the only smart politician out there. I got to disagree with you on that one. However, in the monologue, you were right. I couldn't find anything wrong. And when you brought up the cult thing, and if you don't follow him 100%, then you're against him, that's bullshit. I think that's a poor, sad excuse for you not to ask questions. And if we're not asking questions, what the fuck are we doing? Why aren't you know what I mean? Why do we even vote if we're not asking questions?
What was I doing even talking to the people at the No Kings rally? If you're going to act like a king and I can't even cross you, I can't cross you, or I'm out of the kingdom. I have to follow you 100%, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you say, no matter what promises you're breaking. I have to be the one that's going to just follow you, hook, line, and sinker. I don't see that being the type of people that are like me. And when you have Trump saying, a lot of different things, but I have a lot of different videos that we could play with him and we could get into it. But when you have Trump, when I wake up this morning and I have a different idea where I want this show to go today, and for whatever reason, I wake up to the Truth Social post, and let's put that up there. Have you seen this one?
I was digging around there earlier. Yeah, I think I saw the one you're talking about.
So here it is. Ready? The radical left Democrats have a hit pay dirt again. just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which swore the Democrats, blah, blah, Russia, even the Russia scam itself, and totally fake, made-up story, and crooked Hillary. And he goes into all that. Let me, before I even get to that, it's a mistake in my mind, and I love your impression on this. When you bring up Epstein as a hoax, and then you immediately turn into Russia, and all the other hoaxes and all the other stuff that we fully supported you on. And now we look at Epstein and say, that is definitely not a hoax. You guys definitely have a child pedophile file ring running in this country, around the world. We know what's going on. That's not a hoax. When you lump that in with all the other things that you were accused of, doesn't it diminish and almost make it seem like you were lying about everything then?
Yeah, it feels like it. And then what are we supposed to believe? You know what I mean? And I think we all know that there is a list. I think we all know that he's probably fucking on it. You know what I mean? And it's either that or, he can't cover up, the spaces he was on with that list and what he did and how he did and the flight logs and all this. But I think he ropes it in there because he wants to try to bury it. You know what I mean? He wants to, take the sting away from the blow and just try to get away from it. But I don't think that you can now. And now I think he's stuck in between a rock and a hard spot and doesn't know what to do. And now it's just kind of like just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Coach Patterson says this info is so boring. Don't worry about it. Oh, but yesterday that info didn't exist. I mean, it's very interesting. So let's finish this one. Then he goes, they're not good at governing. They're not good at policy. And unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And some of his supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 years. No, we were right there, right next to you for the last 8 years. I was supporting you. I was the one that was defending against Russia and Letitia James and the maniac out of Georgia who was banging her other lead attorney and all that corruption that was going. We supported you through that entire thing. And now all of a sudden you go on to call us at the very end weaklings. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great. You don't want my support anymore because here I am saying, make a basic promise because it's going to blow up on you in the midterms.
Yeah, stand up or shut up. And now you don't want my support because I'm saying stand up or shut up. Like get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid. If you're on there, then you go too. You know what I mean? And the thing is he shouldn't have to worry about that. Yeah, he's going to be roped in with the pedophile, from here on out. But at the same time, he's not a lifelong politician. So what the hell does it matter? And he's got all the money in the world. He can pay his way out of it.
You know what it makes me want to do, though? It makes me want to sit there and go, fuck me. No. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how much shit I got called for, you fucking piece of shit. And you're doing this to me? Are you kidding me? Now, I appreciate you for all the things you went through for us. I get it. You didn't have to go through all those things. That's one of the reasons why I supported you. Mm-hmm. And I supported you through all of your faults. I don't agree with everything you've done in your life. I don't agree with having a bunch of different kids with a bunch of different women. I don't agree with any of that stuff. Stormy Daniels, I don't agree with you ripping off all of the contractors that you did in AC. Many of them I know. I don't agree with any of those things, but you know what? I was willing to tolerate them because I thought that you were going to live up to some very basic promises. And when you come in and you start preaching radical transparency to me, radical transparency, truth, we're going to expose everything. We're going to expose everything. That's what they ran on. And when you fail at the very first test, what is that going to say for the next 4 years? And then the problem is, what do you think we're going to expect? Come the midterms and come the next 4 years, because that's what I'm really concerned about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to know what JD's stances on all this. And let me ask you a question.
Can't be happy about it.
Did you even give a fuck about the Epstein files until he brought it up on the campaign?
It was gone.
It was gone.
It was a joke. Everyone thought it was a joke, right?
Yeah. They're the ones who brought it up. They're the ones who stuck it in our face. They're the ones who, like you said, tagged it to this transparency, transparency. And then what? Well, they got in there and they saw some shit that they couldn't erase. Or, like I told you, I'm a conspiracy guy. Or the shadow government came in and said, hey, nope, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. And if you keep doing this, second bullet isn't going to miss. So stop what you're doing, turn around, and do whatever you got to do to back this up and bury it again. Because this isn't going anywhere.
You have to get this off of you. I don't know if they can, because now they have every Democrat and their brother jumping online. They're like tripping over each other to get on TV to hey, look at these guys. Look at I can't believe they gave them this type of ammo. Boondock Guy says, you know who else called us names? Hillary. Yeah, she did. And he says, of course he doesn't want our support anymore. He got elected. I think that, listen, there's part of what I like about not having to get elected, that he can do whatever the hell he wants to do. And there's a lot of things that I do trust him on, mostly tariffs and business. And a lot of that stuff, I trust him on those things. Coach Patterson says, he said he doesn't want your support. He isn't on the ballot again. He walks off telling his own story. And meanwhile, dude was the pedo the whole time. We're going to get into conspiracies, Coach Patterson, in this show. We definitely have a conspiracy section here. I could go ahead and I could tell you right now, and I'll tell you this for sure. Boat, you back me up or prove me wrong here. If there was anything, the slightest crumb of incriminating evidence that Trump did anything with a child, that would have been plastered everywhere for the last 8 years. I don't give a shit. The left would not have left that up. They would have put that out at the risk of their own demise. You tell me.
Well, that's the problem. So, it can go either way. You can roll the dice on that, because, like I said, if he's on the list, Mama Duke said he's not a pedo. I hope he's not a pedo. But at the same time, he's on the flight logs. They were homies. Okay, so he has some tie to it. Whatever it is, I don't care. But again, yeah, they would have blasted him. I think if he was on those lists, they would have blasted him. They would have buried him. However, like I said, if they would have let his name out on the list, they would have had to let everybody's name out on the list. And I think that there was too many people in too high of places for them to risk that.
And I do. I think it's like the nuclear, the nuclear agreement with everybody. It's mutually assured destruction. The thing is, I think everybody, when you get into that high of places and you're a billionaire and you live that lifestyle, I'm sure he did all types of horrible stuff. I don't. That's the thing about me. I don't put these people on this moral pedestal that everybody else does. I think if you make it to that level, you had to be a scumbag. You had to stab people in the back. You had to fuck people over. You can't be the nicest person to get to the point of being a president. You really have to be a narcissistic maniac to even want to think that you have the capability of doing that job. So no, I don't think that's crazy. But let's move on a little bit. We're gonna stay on this topic. But let's go to in-depth breakdowns.
In-depth breakdowns.
All right, the boat. You guys do something called the Conspiracy Corner, right? On the Viking period of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring you in. I told you get your conspiracy hat pumping. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. I'm gonna get my conspiracy curl going on over here. Right, there we go. That's like my Superman curl, only different.
Curl, yeah.
This is what tells me I need my haircut.
Oh, nice.
This is what tells me I need my haircut.
So very alfalfa of you.
Alfalfa. What was that? Ote, right?
Ote.
All right. So the best part about this whole Epstein stuff, and of course, we can have some fun with this because it's not all like, oh my God, it's the theories that I'm getting from the people online and from everybody, Alex Jones, and there's a theory on top of a theory on top of a theory. There's the 6D chess. There's the 15D chess. I don't even know what D we're even playing. And what I'm wondering is, are we really just playing checkers the entire damn time? I don't know what the hell we're doing, but we have a number of different conspiracies that are popping up. Here is one This is a this is Timcast talking about his conspiracy.
Is that Dan Bongino and Cash, this is all part of their plan. And Pam Bondi is the patsy. Why? Well, Mary Margaret additionally reports, source close to DOJ leadership tells me, quote, Deputy AG Blanche, Cash Patel, and Dan Bongino started drafting the released memo in early July and worked on it through the July 4th weekend. After providing some edits, Cash and Dan signed off on the strategy and contents. Director Patel wrote that the memo was good with FBI. So some people are now speculating. If that's true, they did themselves draft this whole strategy of an unnamed, unsigned memo and all of that stuff, but are now acting like it's an affront to them. The conspiracy theory is that they are going to put the blame on Pam Bondi for the botched release, force her to be fired, and then the more extreme version is the Epstein files have been damaged, destroyed, or lost because of Bondi. Wrap it up in a nice little ball, throw it in the trash, and then say, "Sorry, guys, we can't do anything about it. It was Bondi's."
So before before we get to that, I have to address some. Attention, we have a tard in the chat. He's a new listener, but I love you. It's Vandalay ETC says, how are you this comfortable lying to yourselves and normalizing pedophilia when you're a billionaire? You do some bad stuff. I don't think I've ever suggested when you're a billionaire that means like you can do pedophilia. And he says you're making it sound like raping minors is some minor normal thing, no big deal. My man, if you're talking about me and the boat, then listen, I highly suggest you getting hooked on phonics, learn how to read. That way you understand speech, and then you can understand exactly what I'm talking about. Under no circumstances am I justifying pedophilia. Matter of fact, I'm pissed. Clearly you haven't listened to the show. I suggest you rewind it and go back. I'm just saying, just so we're clear for the morons out there listening. Okay? I'm pissed he has not given me who all the pedophiles are. Fucking idiots. All right, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. Comment on Timcast.
Yeah, no, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, I never really thought of it that way, but that's like what you would do with UFO files. You know what I mean? That's what happened with the with all the tech that we use to get to the moon, right? So yeah, I think that's like 50s cover up type shit. I think that's a stretch.
That's a stretch that Pam Bondi, because everything Trump says, like Trump came out and he loves Pam Bondi.
Right.
But he said this about her, right?
Your high-ranking officials, whether it's been your FBI director or Pam Bondi, they have made some inconsistent statements in the past. You've had.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak about him, but I can say that Pam Bondi, I really think that she's done very good. She says, I gave you all the credible information. And if she finds any more credible information, she'll give that too. What more can she do than that? I mean, honestly, what more can she do? And we do have bigger problems. You know, we have problems.
So, I mean, he's fully on her side. I think the conspiracy theories are, Bongino. I mean, you had Alex Jones saying Bongino and Cash are definitely going to resign. All of a sudden, Bongino shows up for work. I don't know if that's going to happen, because that would look like it's in total turmoil. They definitely, if they're going to resign, they can't do it right now. They got to eat it for another 6 months minimum, and then pop off after that. But I mean, to me, Trump's a pedophile is the dumbest fucking conspiracy theory. If you're pumping that up, you might want to pump the brakes, because your side would already put that out. I think he's playing 6D chess and he's using it. What do you think about this theory? He's playing 6D chess and he's really not releasing it because they're behind the scenes. They're really going to be arresting people down the road, and they don't want to give away anything to anybody that's going to jeopardize anything in the future. That's the right-wing conspiracy that's coming out.
I mean, that's more believable than the latter. You know what I mean? I think maybe he's just, I mean, for lack of better words, holding his, hand close to his chest. And I can see that, but I still think you got to do something. You got to do something. You got to release a big name. You got to make some arrests. You got to do something, or else, like you said, it looks bad. It looks like he's trying to cover up for himself. It looks like he's making putting Bondi in a compromising situation, by having to go back on her word. It was on her desk a month ago. Is that what it was? A month and a half ago, 2 months? It was on her desk. He's got it. She's going through it. It's on her desk, ready to roll.
Now I heard the whole hoax argument. A good buddy I met online. He's been listening for a very long time. He called me up today and he said, "Listen, the hoax is the way the left is portraying this entire thing. The left is trying to portray that Trump's the pedophile and he's the one covering up, and that's what they're trying to portray." And I said, "That's not really a hoax. That's what we expect out of them." And it's a shame on their. It's sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what they do. It's a shame that we allowed them to do it. But so what are the other ones? Let's go through a couple of these really fast, and then we'll get on to Gavin Newsom, because we are, I feel like kind of beating this to death, but I don't know why. This is the real question that I want to ask is, why is Trump beating it to death? Why are we not ignoring it? Why didn't we just let it go away to the past? Because this is something I think that if we would have just stopped talking about and just said, "Hey guys, we're working on it," or the thing I brought up in the monologue, if we did any number of those things, we wouldn't be talking about this stuff right now. So when people say if they're showing you one thing or doing another, is there something behind the scenes that you think, what are the conspiracies that way? Have you looked into that?
I've looked into it a little bit, and I think that one of those things, I think it's the weapons thing with Ukraine. I think that there's also something going on with Israel as well, and I think maybe he might be throwing the rope-a-dope, which if it was me, I'd probably do the same thing. But I think that he feels obligated in some way to at least try to make it seem like he's doing something about it, or there's something there, because like you said and we said that they ran the goddamn campaign. Half the campaign was about this.
Yes, half the fucking campaign was about this. Exactly.
So I think in some way he feels a little bit of responsibility to at least address it and somehow, and try to make it right, and try to make it go away in whatever way he wants it to, or however he's going to. I don't know. And it might just be that. It might be, okay, this is happening here, this is happening there, and then all of a sudden, now we've got a deal, between Russia and Ukraine. This is great, and that's going to flood the news, and then this is all going to go away. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So we have a little keyboard warrior. I'm just going to let everybody know right now, we do not have chat moderators, and we are free speech here. So this dude can post in chat any of the bullshit he wants. Everybody, I would stop engaging him if you want. If not, just make fun of him the entire time. But let me just tell you something. If you start threatening anybody, that's where I will kick you the fuck out. Okay, Vanderlei? So you could come in here, you could talk, you could be nice, we could all be cool. But if you're going to say you're going to find out where someone's going to live, I will ban you from the chat. And that's a shame, because you came in here like an asshole, and you came in here like a typical liberal or like a typical lunatic fucking moron Trump supporter. And it's a shame. But let's move on, because we have somebody that this guy probably loves, and that is Gavin Newsom. And you think I'm wrong by saying Gavin Newsom is the only smart one? Now,
I mean, if you're saying only smart Democrat, maybe.
Okay, I think one of the only smart politicians, because he's moving. He's moving towards the middle. I think this guy is recognizing where the voter base is going to be going, and he's training this guy. Jesse Waters said something actually very funny when I was listening to everybody today. He said he has transitioned into a manly Democrat. He's like he used to be a little pussy liberal Democrat, and now he completed his transition, and he's a real male Democrat. But this is him on his
podcast. That all of a sudden you're a man. Get the fuck out of here.
Three different podcasts. He put his big boy pants on, but just listen to what he's saying. This is Newsom on his own party.
I mean, do you feel like the last administration was divisive?
I think, we got ideological, and failed at the border. And they've sent me 2 bills I've had to veto where they didn't want me to cooperate with ICE for these 11,000+ people. I just think they're wrong. My party's wrong on that.
Hey, good for him for stepping up for that, though. I like where he's at, but I'm afraid he's just the prettiest chameleon out there. You know what I mean? And he's doing it at the right time. He's striking while the iron's hot, and it feels almost like, he's going to do and say what he needs to do to gain favor, and then go back and be this same dumbass and party puppet that everybody else has been.
But I think he's definitely a party puppet, but he is a smart part. I don't think he's even smart. I think he is a good representative of what people want to see in a politician, as superficial as people are. That's what everybody misses with Gavin Newsom. When I tell you that everybody better get very serious about this guy, and the stuff that he says and how he talks, I mean, you see it, like he kind of looks like he's jerking off everywhere he goes. He really talks with his hands. You think Bernie just kind of like throws his hands at you. But this guy really does, he really talks with his fucking hands. But this is like, ready, let's play this one. I'm trying to think about which one. Okay, this is him on his COVID failures. And just listen to how he phrases things. And he's trying to come off like a very sensible guy.
The things during COVID that you think maybe were a mistake.
We were concerned it was airborne, and folks, we were worried about people being outside even. And we realized then, after the fact, what the hell are we doing shutting down the beaches and open areas?
Do you think that some of the restrictions that you put in place created a mental health crisis by being locked up, by not being able to enjoy the outdoors?
It was devastating. Come on, man. Of course.
But what he's never going to say to you is, yeah, man, I should be really held accountable for that. What he's saying is, with a smile on his face and is cool and he's playing with his fucking cuffs. Listen, what I did was fuck up an entire generation of people. I created mental health crisis. I probably caused older people to die, and not just die alone and desperate in their own homes. But you know what? You should make me president. That's what that guy's saying. And it's smart.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think it's smart for him to do this play now. And to be honest with you, I'd gain a little bit more respect for the guy if he would take a little bit of accountability, just a little bit, and accountability for the fires, and accountability for the riots, and a little bit of accountability for the border. Take a little bit of accountability. That's going to show that you're serious about this, that you're not just playing, party puppet. And then, then we can go from there and see, and see what you can do.
But he's not going to. So this is his answer on sex changes. And once again, I want you to notice the smile. I want you to notice the delivery. What he's saying is complete and total horseshit. He doesn't believe in any of it. He's trying to obfuscate it and not take a position while taking a position, but actually making you think he's taking a position, but he's really not taking a position. It's like I feel like I'm like, am I interested? But she's interested, but now she's not interested, and now I'm starting to get interested. You're right, like the fucking wedding singer. So now I'm starting to get interested. I feel like I'm doing that. But this is Newsom on sex changes.
8 years old, too young.
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man, I get it. So those are legit. It's interesting. Just the issue of age. It's interesting. As someone that's been so focused on equality, broadly, LGBT rights, particularly gay marriage. Mm-hmm. The trans issue for me is also novel. It's over the last few years, I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else, whole pronoun thing.
I'm trying to understand the whole pronoun thing. I don't really understand it, but I want you to be sure. Right? It's like, but this is what he's saying. I'm going to translate it for everybody. Listen, everybody, I didn't understand the fucking thing of what I was doing, but I want you to know that I made decisions that way, and I made decisions that affected your child that way, and I had not a fucking clue what I was saying, thinking, or even I didn't even have a thought on it. I don't even understand the whole pronoun shit, but our teachers got to use it.
Well, see, and that's where I gotta call bullshit on that. Like, okay, you didn't realize this was gonna cause a mental health crisis until you got a 9-year-old. Now get out of town.
You didn't realize you were wrong until after you ripped a surfer off the surfboard in the middle of the ocean when he was surfing by himself. I think that fucking dude either have a wetsuit and a mask on. You know, because the plankton, bro, if the plankton breathed out on you, it's like that was the one thing. You know, the plankton were banging the bats were eating them, they were dropping them in the ocean, and then they were latching onto the surfboards, and then everybody got COVID.
Everyone's fine.
But this is the best. You want to hear horse shit personified. I might even play this twice. This is Gavin Newsom talking about how his hair caught fire in the deadly fires of LA.
Get out of hills with these guys, and we all turned around when my hair literally burst on. There's a video of it, and they threw me in the car. A guy hits my hair and throws me in the car. Says, "Get out of here."
Did you hear that properly? Did you hear the guy hits me in the hair? Then he goes on to say, "There's video of it. Trust me. I swear to God, there's video." You're telling me that somebody has video of Gavin Newsom's hair catching fire,
and that hasn't hit the airwaves yet? That hasn't gone viral yet?
TMZ hasn't paid $1 million for that shit.
Right?
Bullshit. And then what exactly
video?
Dude, what exactly are you saying, Gavin? That like, what do? Do you kind of like do your hairdo with fucking WD-40 with lighter fluid? Is that what you're saying?
It's
that your hair,
bro.
Your hair is so greased up. You should be in the movie Grease. It's so greased up that you just walking near fire makes your hair ignite.
That's what 10W30 would do, bro. You put it up quick enough.
Hey, I'm a Dapper Dan man, okay? It's 98% petroleum jelly.
You know what petroleum is?
Man, I got taxes on that shit. I know what it is. Oh man, that guy is he's such a fucking clown. It's I mean, I have a couple more on him, but this is the funniest. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, but I could see kind of where you were coming from now. You know, to kind of, because you're right. Like, I mean, especially with sitting down with Shawn Ryan, because, you know, Shawn Ryan doesn't pull any punches and it's go, go, go. But he's actually, like you said, like he's dodging, he's playing a role, but not playing a role, but getting into a role, but make you think he's playing a role. I don't know. That's pretty damn smart.
And I'm gonna say the one thing I don't like about some of these guys, some of these podcasters, even like Joe Rogan, when you look at like Bernie, they let him get up there and they let him pontificate. They don't really push back against any of their bullshit. It's kind of like they let them say their piece. I don't know why more of these politicians don't do these podcast formats, because a lot of them are like little cakewalk interviews. You don't have the hard-hitting news journalist that is really beating you up. Sometimes Rogan gets tough. Sometimes Shawn Ryan gets tough. But if you ask me, that interview, they were way too easy on him. But last video I have on Newsom, this is Gavin Newsom on being called Newsom.
All that reputational damage that's being done as they're sitting there on horses with American flags running through soccer fields, scaring kids that are playing soccer in the middle of the day at a summer camp. For what? Just toughness. It's a weakness masquerading as strength. That's what I don't like about this son of a bitch. I don't. And forgive me, I know he's the president of the States. Forgive me, I didn't, you know, yeah, he calls me new scum. You know, come on. How do I explain that to my kid? Now I have my kids' friends calling my kids new scum. That I get, because I was called that in 7th grade, but not by a 79-year-old. Model better goddamn behavior, man. Forgive the goddamn.
Is there anything better than the last 43 seconds that I just played you guys? I mean, let's just go back, right? He says, model better goddamn behavior, dude.
This fucking guy. Excuse the fuck. Sorry. Get out of town, man.
Model better fucking behavior, jerk off.
Excuse the fuck. Jerk off.
And then he goes on to say, listen, how do I explain this to my kids? But listen, I get it because I was called Newsom in 3rd grade, but not by a 72-year-old, okay? It's probably the same kids that were calling your kids Newsom, and you have no idea how to fucking explain it to them?
Right? Well, it's like, I mean, the bully is now just a bigger bully, you know? You never got rid of your bully. And that's, it's because of your haircut. Yeah, I mean, let's get real. And the way across your legs. You know what I mean? And apologize for saying fuck. I mean, come on.
But you know what's the thing that I took about that is they're really trying hard to relate. And the only way I think the Democrats know how to relate is by cursing. That seems to be the only thing that's like, listen, they're not with us on this trans stuff. They're not with us on free healthcare. We really need to start doing, like, somebody deep in their thought pool. It's like, guys, listen, you guys say things like son of a bitch and fuck this and fuck you and fuck Trump. If you put fuck and anything on the right with each other, that's the winning message. And if you notice, he cursed. I mean, it's funny because I saw a clip from Hannity today where it was just playing all of his curses, and it's like they don't play the curses, so it's just beep 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 beep. It was funny watching that. He was absolutely hysterical. Speaking of funny, do you have any last comments on Newsom before we go? Things that making me laugh.
I don't know. I think. Let's just watch and see, because he's gonna say fuck some more, and then what? I think it's funny though. I like the dynamic. I like the pitter patter. I like the back and forth. I like the bullying. So let's see. Necessary bullies, baby.
I mean, let's see. Let's get to laughing.
Shit, that made me laugh.
All right, so we have a couple things that made me laugh. This really made me fucking laugh.
Essential workers.
They are.
They're the first responders. They're doing all your construction, painting,
He's talking about illegals. Gavin Newsom said this stuff too. I love this. Gavin Newsom says, I don't see people who look like me doing these jobs. And I'm like watching this shit as I'm mixing concrete, like, you fucking piece of shit.
Asshole.
Oh yeah, the Mexicans they're doing all the construction. Yeah, as I'm there dripping sweat with rain pouring all over me. Yeah, that's exactly
just in California, man.
just in California. It's absolutely ridiculous. This made me laugh. This was, I was watching some old Mark McGuire clips. You know how you watch one and they just keep feeding you.
Oh, yeah.
So this was during the home run race when he hit one. I don't know which number this is, but I want you to watch the end. And I want you to watch coming out of the right. I'm probably going to put our mics on for this. It's 20 seconds. I want you to first notice how fucking hard Mark McGuire hits a baseball.
Oh, dude.
It's incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
When they say that it's 430 feet, like, when McGuire hit it, and then 460 feet when these guys hit it, the ball doesn't leave the exact same way. I don't give a shit. But I want you to watch the right of the screen when they pan into the people getting the ball. I want you to watch for the cameraman and the poor kid in front of the cameraman.
3 outs left. Just 3 homers for McGuire. The most impressive 3. Make it 4. Back. God.
Right.
Mike, you're behind
Get out,
the plate
kid.
and he's up there.
Get out of here.
What do you think when he hits a bomb like that?
Just cameraman running over kids and getting the ball.
He didn't even check on him. That ball, it's like he was like he stepped on that fucking kid's head a couple times, like, get the fuck out of here. And just so he could get that shot.
Oh my God.
Now, this is a longer clip, but this is 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Oh man, do we just call him Mr. O'Neill? This is Al Bundy. Everyone knows Al Bundy, right? Was Married with Children the greatest sitcom ever? Like, period.
That's fantastic. Oh yeah, I loved it.
So this is Ed O'Neill talking about how he liked everybody but one person.
The only one I don't get along with, and I don't think I'm the only one, is Amanda.
Really? How come?
I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, because it was wonderful for 3 years. She was great. I don't know whose fault it was. We just sort of grew a bit apart. We argued about certain things, and I don't know what it was. And she changed a bit. I mean, I have to say that when she started out, she was gay, because she was gay a long time. She was more or less the female in the couple. The show, 11 years, it went. As it progressed, the change took place where she then was the more masculine. And that became kind of interesting, because then as she became more masculine, she became a little more snarky. She could grow a tooth, as we used to say. I remember one instance where she was getting married. The invitations went out, and I didn't get one, and neither did David Faustino. And now we weren't arguing. Well, I said to David, well, everyone got one but you and I. And I think Ron Levitt didn't get one. Everyone else did. And I thought, and I thought it was funny. But at the same time, I thought, this is stupid on her part. Why would she do this? So I went to her, and why? And she said, this was a very tough call. But I just feel that you would find it amusing that me and Becky would come in tuxedos in a church and walk down the aisle, and you and David would be snickering and finding it funny. I said, Amanda, what is funny about two women in tuxedos walking down the church aisle? I started laughing. And she said, see? I said, well, you know why? Because it is fucking funny. And I'm not going to be the only one that doesn't think so. Well, that was it, But it was funny. She had a little white tux, and, it was just, to me, it was funny. But so
You know what I love about Ed O'Neill, dude, is that he's so real, and he reminds me of. So we have this kind of friend of the family, and he was like kind of like a pseudo uncle. He went to school with my mom and dad, and he's always looked out for us. But he reminds me of him so much, especially now that he's getting a little bit older. And they're just like that old school. Give it to you straight and don't really give a shit what you got to say about it. It's like my grandpa, dude.
It's speaking of giving it to you straight. Here's what I have marked as laugh number 5. It's called Wash It.
Men only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
Then wash it.
I love that one, dude. I saw that one yesterday. Oh, I was dying.
Dude, I was crying seeing that one. I was absolutely crying seeing it. And speaking about crying, this is the last one of the day. I love laughing on a Wednesday to end this show. It's like this. It's so much fun. If you've ever seen the movie Half Baked is one of my favorite movies with Dave Chappelle and a lot of different people. This was
Brewer's in it. Brewer's
Jim
one of my
Brewer.
favorites.
Yeah, this is, I guess, one of the guys that wrote with him. I wish I wrote down his name. I was rushing today and I did not. I feel bad, but I'll put it somewhere. But check this one out.
7, Dave calls me and goes, "Hey, if Universal reaches out to you, tell them we're writing a weed movie together." Next next thing I know, someone from Universal calls me and asks, "Are you writing a weed movie with Dave Chappelle?" And I was like, "Yes." And they go, "When can you pitch it to us?" And I was like, "In 30 days' time." So we had a month to figure the pitch out, and finally on day 29, I called Dave and I'm like, "Dude, we got to work this weed movie out." And he goes, "What weed movie?" Anyhow, the day before the pitch, we outlined Half-Baked. It took the full day, about 16 hours, and that attention to detail really showed up on screen. Half-Baked opened against Good Will Hunting, Wag the Dog, As Good as It Gets, and oh yeah, Titanic.
That's Neil Brennan, dude. I love him. He basically co-created the Chappelle Show with Dave.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he wrote half the damn sketches that Dave ever did. He's hilarious, dude. I love Neil Brennan.
No
But
shit.
that's hilarious. I'm surprised they didn't like burn a fatty, and then write it that night. You know
I
what I
bet
mean?
that's exactly what they did. That's what he talked about. 16 hours. They were just ripping
Yeah,
weed
exactly.
and writing and just ideas popping off left and right because it gives you the knowledge. It gives you the knowledge. Speaking about making you laugh, have you seen this guy, Omar Fatesh? He is running for what is it, mayor of Minnesota?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Omar Fatesh is running for Minnesota mayor to raise the minimum wage by over $4 in a few years, to freeze rent, and to Trump-proof the city. Yep, that's him. That is him.
That's him. At least he's wearing a clean shirt.
At least he's wearing a clean. You're not kidding. And here we go. Here's another one. Let's go through some of these news articles really quick. We have a couple minutes. We'll go rapid fire news. Israel strikes Syria's military headquarters as the regime clashes with the Druze civilians. Now, I have videos on that. We're not going to get to it because, I mean, listen, you know, Israeli apparently could bomb everybody. So let's just check this out. Let's bring up the map of Israel. Okay, you ready? See these people up here? They're bombing them, and then that little blue area, they're bombing the shit out of them. They used to bomb Egypt. They were bombing the shit out of them, but they kind of made a peace treaty back in the 1990s. But if you look at that top region right there, you see where that's that little cutout. It's kind of up in this area where the yellow, yeah, see where the yellow, the green, and the orange meet that little area that's right there. They're kind of bombing the shit out of that area, and it's because of the Druze, and it's interesting because usually we say it's because of the Jews, but no, this is the Druze community.
But it seemed like it could be a problem, huh?
But you could see the relation, right? You could understand why the Druze and the Jews have such a close relationship. But their argument is, sorry, go ahead. Oh, sorry. Their argument is that the Druze community are being under attack by Syria. And listen, Syria is ran by ISIS. I'm not trying to defend Syria at all. I don't give a shit. We spent a lot of time bombing the shit out of them. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm just wondering here because the Druze people, let's bring this map back up. They're also in that little area, but you see the little purple area way up there? I think that's what, Lebanon or whatever it is. There's some Druze that live in there too. So what happens if they start getting attacked? Does Israel get to bomb them too? Just some questions I'm tossing out there. I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I mean, they're going to bomb whoever, but I think someone wrote it down wrong on the paper. I think it was supposed to be Jews, but someone wrote it D. You know, bad handwriting. It happens. So they're like, fuck it, let's do it.
And apparently the Druze have a bunch of different sects and nationalities and everything. It's kind of the same as I think. And the last thing that I want to talk about today, we might go a little bit over. We have a California law, or California has passed a bill allowing Los Angeles County and other municipalities to use property taxes to acquire fire-destroyed lots for its affordable housing. This initiative is driven by Resilient Rebuilding Authority, and it aims to allocate at least 40% of its funding towards the low housing development on these newly acquired lands. Let me just say really quick, when shit was burning, people were predicting that you were going to do this. You called that conspiracy, and now you did it. Just tossing that one out there.
And let me guess, that $20 billion has just been burning a hole in his pocket, no pun intended, to get this low income housing done, right? He had to start a fire first. Now, now the money's going to go where it should go, right?
It's great. Let's knock down all the single family homes for way more pavement. And then when that floods like a motherfucker, we're going to go, oh my God, it's global warming. No, you know what? Pavement doesn't absorb water. It just collects it all and sends it somewhere.
Sends it, yeah, to the
lowest
point. It
just sends it. How do I know this? I happen to do driveways and shit. I do that for a living. You can ask me. Pave something, it sheds water. Toss that one out there. But listen, man, it's like 6 months later, nothing's been built. 2 years later in Maui, they have like 5 homes built. And
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
we're working as best as we can. I'm telling you, we're really moving. We got 8 whole houses built. Some say 5.
We're really pulling our resources.
We're pushing hard. And the last thing today, Adam Schiff. This is Donald Trump. I've always suspected Shifty Adam Schiff was a scam artist. And now I learned that Fannie Mae's Financial Crimes Division have concluded that Adam Schiff has engaged in sustained pattern of possible mortgage fraud. So, like everybody says, the thing that Trump did, all of those people have done. And that's going to be coming out. That's the type of stuff I like. If you've done it, if it fits one, it fits all, go after everybody. I'm cool with it. Last thoughts there on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, calling a wolf a wolf. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? You're looking at yourself in the mirror, Mr. Shifty Trump. You know what I mean? Come on.
Pencil neck shift, pencil neck. He is if there's anybody that can be called a pencil neck, it is 100% that guy. Well, listen, everybody, I really appreciate you guys. Everybody in the chat, from Coach Patterson, even the weirdo tonight, Vanderlei. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I definitely removed this chat. And the only reason why I moved it is because we don't get threatening here. I will let you say whatever the hell you want to say. When you start talking about finding people and getting their address and all that shit, that's where I draw the line. We are a community that is going to be about respecting each other. I don't have to agree with anything you say. Do not come in here like an asshole. I'll tell you that much. No, you know what? Come in here like an asshole, just not a violent one. And if you don't come in with any violence, then we are not going to be, we're not going to have a problem. I will never mute somebody for anything they say if it's against anything I say. That's not what I stand for here. And I think it's ridiculous when people do that. But dude, Rudy, the Boat Martinez came in, knocked it out of the park, dude. That was a great time with you tonight. Why don't you tell everybody where they could find you? I know you guys just did a show yesterday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 p.m. on the West Coast, where we're at. We're in Utah, so it's 8 p.m. for us. But yeah, Tuesday nights, Rumble only. I'm going to be pushing it to probably Spotify and Apple podcasts here pretty soon. But look out for that, and look out for another little dime we have in the bag. Me and the Jarl, we're working on a bigger project, a different project, and it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have fun with it, and we're gonna include all of our loved ones on Rumble. So be looking out for that,
dude. Outstanding. I heard a little bit of it. I'm not going to give anything away, but I know I'm excited to hear it. I can't wait to see what you guys have got chalked up. And that's gonna be badass. Cannot wait for that to happen. So they can find you, Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. Go to the Rumble page, like it, check them out every Tuesday night. They do a great job. Thank you very much, Rudy, dude. And listen, guys, everybody, I really appreciate all of you guys. Yankee68, Mama Dukes, Jay Calda, everybody, Boondock Guy, Jay, all of you guys, every single one of you guys that watch me, everybody that's not live. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. Finger the fuck at that like button, and I promise you, your finger will not come back smelly. Guys, you could be your own Caltrop, and I encourage you guys over and over and over and over and over again to be your own Caltrop. The way to do that, it's very simple. Do not be just the sheep. Do not be the member of the cult. Do not be the person that just accepts non-promises not given to you. Be the person that asks a lot of questions and is critical of everybody, yourself included, and those people that you support. You could be a Caltrop. We are Caltrops. My man Rudy the Boat Martinez, his brother, gave me the name the Caltrop, so you know he's a Caltrop.
Yeah.
We are defense mechanisms against everything garbage and everything not fun. Thank you very much, everybody. This Caltrop is out. Later.